What's going on, guys? Real Spill TV here. I wanted to do a quick rant on customer service and mainly outsourcing jobs in the U.S. right now. As you can see, I'm tired. It's late. It's about 11:38, and I just spent 2 hours on the phone with my internet service provider, as well as a third-party router company, who I will get into in a minute. Um, and really it's bothering me that what this country has came to as far as customer service, basically. Right. First of all my jobs since I've worked have been in the customer service industry, where whether it was at a grocery store or at a restaurant, et cetera, et cetera. But basically, it's always focused on the customer. And I know you have objectives as a company. You want to make money. You want to keep selling your product, but the goals that I was taught, the number one goal is to make the customer happy because that's what's going to keep them coming back. And nowadays I just don't see that. Okay, so let me just give you a little background on what happened. All right, first of all, my internet was not working as it should. It was not performing as it should. Therefore, I called my internet provider, which was Windstream. Now, their customer service was good. They were very helpful. They were patient. They were trying to go through many different options with me, and I appreciate them for that. The problem came when we figured out that it might be a problem with my router. Well, we figured out, basically we pinpointed it, that it was a problem with my router. It wasn't sending signal strength down to this room, well, across the hall to this room, because it was working perfectly in a room next to it, to the router, etc., etc. So basically, to make a long story short, after going through all of these troubleshooting methods, and we figuring out that it's the router that's the problem, they say, well, sir, you have a Cisco router installed, which they installed, might I add, and we do not troubleshoot third-party routers. So what we're going to do is transfer you over to Cisco so they can better help you figure out the problem with your router. Now, I had no problem with that. It makes sense. If this manufacturer makes this router, let's talk to them to see what we can do to increase the, output of it. I had no problem with that. Okay. Now they transfer me to this. Now these people are American right now. I can understand them. They can understand me. It's perfect. I wasn't frustrated until they transferred me to Cisco, and I'm speaking with this Indian lady. Now, I have nothing against Indian people or nothing against whatever. It's just that when I'm trying to get a problem solved over the phone, it helps when I'm able to understand the person I'm talking to and they're able to understand me. It took us about 15 to 20 minutes to get past the basic information, like my name and phone number and the serial number on the router and the model number, etc., etc. Because just because you speak English and you can understand some English doesn't mean you're going to be able to understand it with certain accents. You know what I mean? Just because, if you learn Spanish in, a Mexican tongue or a Mexican accent, it's going to sound different when you go to Spain. You know what I mean? You're still going to be able to understand some things, but things are said differently and it sounds differently. So basically, I'm on the phone with this lady for about an hour going over the same things. Like, for example, sir, do you have a modem that you can plug this computer up to? No. Okay, 2 minutes later, sir, can you plug your computer up to the modem? No, I can't. And like I said, it took her literally, I'm not exaggerating, 10 minutes to get my name right. And because she was like, when I would say B as in boy, she would, think I was saying D as in dog. So we literally had to go through every single letter, E as in egg, A as in apple, etc., etc. And that was really frustrating for me. Secondly, let's get more into the customer service because she's just doing her job. I understand Cisco, they are trying to save money by, hiring cheaper labor off in India or whatnot, but your customers are being affected here, okay? And so here's the real kicker, right? After all that time, she, we get past that and everything, and she says, "Okay, sir, you know what we can do? We can remotely access your router and increase the signal strength." I'm like, "Great, that's all I need you to do." And then she looks up the serial number. "Oh, sir, I'm sorry, your router is out of date. Your router, you need a new router. I'm sorry, we're not allowed to access remotely these routers because they're out of warranty. And so I'm like, but we just got this router no less than 6 months ago. That's what I'm saying. It's a constant scheme. The customer, like, they have no regard for the customer's well-being. You understand what I'm saying? They're putting out a new modem every 3 months. So if you have a problem, you have to call in on a simple problem such as a signal boost. Then you have to buy a new router altogether. That makes no sense. First of all, she said that my router was out of warranty, therefore I don't have the over the phone assistance service, and that this call was going to be $25. I was like, I'm not going to pay $25 for you to, have your product function correctly. You know what I'm saying? We've already paid our dues as far as having your product, and you're trying to charge me so you can make your product, you know, perform correctly. That doesn't make any sense to me. At my restaurant, if a product is not satisfactory to a customer, we're not going to charge them to make it right. We're going to get them something they do like until they're happy. You know what I mean? That made no sense. Okay, so after we've established that I'm not buying a new router and I'm not paying $24.99 to get assistance over the phone, they started giving me the, oh, okay, well, can you unplug your router? She asked me to unplug my router like 5 times. I did it already like a good 2 times. I did it once before I even called just to, weed that out. I know how to troubleshoot some things. I did it again when Windstream was on the phone, and I did it like twice when I was on the phone with her. Okay, and one point in time, she said unplug it for 5 minutes, and I was like, oh my God, okay, whatever. So I did that. The whole while, she said stay on the line. The whole while she's talking, I kid you not, she's talking to the person next to her, having a full-blown Indian conversation while I'm on the phone. I'm like, dude, really? Are you serious right now? Is that what customer service is? Really? And of course, when I plugged the modem up, plugged the router back in, nothing changed. It didn't work. Um, she was asking me about my download speed and my upload speed. I had already tested that 3 or 4 times today. I tested it before I called Windstream. Like I said, I did my own troubleshooting before I called them. And, I wrote the speeds down. I told them to her. She asked me to run the test 2 or 3 more times again. It was the same thing every time. At this point, I'm getting frustrated, and I'm not. I don't want to take it out on this lady because that's just the procedure on how she was trained, and I understand how it feels to work in customer service, you know, and you don't make the rules, you don't make the structure of the company, you just work there. So, I took that into consideration and stayed patient and stayed calm. But at the end of the day, it is now 11:46. I called in around 9 something, and I still have nothing to show for, my internet speed. It's still the same as it was. And true enough, my internet is working, but the point is I pay a month a lot to get this 12 megabyte speed so that it's instantaneous, so that everything is quick with a click of the button. And so subpar speed it's not gonna cut it because I'm paying for this service. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like every time they have to come out and fix something, they're trying to charge me something, and I'm like, I'm not paying for it because you guys are supposed to be providing a service that I'm paying for, so y'all need to make that work. So basically, the point of this whole video is that customer services really went down the tube. People are outsourcing jobs, and it's affecting nobody but the customer. And yeah, they might save $2 an hour in labor cost, but what is that really? It's not doing anything but making the customer's experience worse. And that's all. That's really all there is to it. So basically, what I'm saying is we need to stop outsourcing jobs for one, simply because pay the extra $2 in labor costs so that when I call in, I can understand what's happening. My conversations with Windstream were very brief. We didn't have to we didn't have to go over everything 2, 4, 6 times. We, got things established and we moved forward, and I appreciate that. I don't. They're sending a technician out tomorrow to possibly replace my modem absolutely for free. But the company Cisco, I'm very disappointed in them. I have nothing against Indian people or Indian companies because I understand they're just trying to do their job and work. But I mean, come on, really? Is that what we're getting out to right now? But yeah, guys, I mean, this video is already, I didn't plan it to be this long. I just, like I said, I had to get that off my chest. I was pretty frustrated with that whole situation. And it made me look at our whole, work system, our whole job outsourcing problem, and how actually, I understand it's huge. All these companies are doing it nowadays, but it's really situations like this when you really realize how severe the problem is, because not only are you taking jobs away from American people, American people that can be doing this job, you're also affecting every customer of this product because they're not able to get help. All right, guys, I'll see y'all next time. Um, Real Spill TV, man.